This podcast is brought to you by M&S Food, where exceptional quality meets everyday inspiration. At M&S, they believe great food starts with great ingredients, from expertly sourced fresh produce from Ireland and around the world to chef-created dishes that make every meal feel special. So when they say this is not just food, they mean it. As a chef, I've always loved the M&S approach to food, from the sourcing to the standards. It's the kind of attention to detail that really matters in a kitchen. It's food made with purpose, and that's something I can get behind. I'm Mark Moriarty, and this is Roasted. Let's get into it. Welcome to Roasted with myself, Mark Moriarty, where I chat with notable people about their lives through the wonderful world of food and drink. Today's guest is one of Ireland's most notable social media influencers, boasting over 700,000 followers across her various channels, where she focuses on, tell me if I'm wrong, content around beauty, fashion and entertainment.
Yeah.
Away from social media, she co-hosts the popular Hold My Drink podcast, as well as launching a jewellery and apparel brand. Charleen Murphy, welcome to Roasted.
Thanks for having me. I'm a mouthful of tuna. I think that's what it was. I'm not sure.
So you have just eaten. So
God.
The email that came in was tuna.
Yeah.
So I wasn't sure it was a cooked tuna, it was raw tuna.
Yeah.
So I do a lot of these sort of private dining events. So I had one last night and this was the first snack they had.
Wow.
So it's tuna belly. It's cured in salt and sugar and then it's aged for about a week. And then it's on a little potato crisp. And then on top we have, it's kind of like a savoury jam, but it's with grapefruit, green peppercorn, seaweed.
That was really good. I can taste the seaweed.
It's quite like intense,
but
the
I
jam
love
on
seaweed.
top.
That's much fancier than what I would eat. Like I had like a can of tuna in mind.
So I wasn't sure.
I love that as well.
What is the tuna thing?
I love making, so I've gone a bit viral on TikTok the last while, making like tuna cucumber salads. So all it is, you already hate this, but tuna, a whole cucumber cut up, tin of tuna, light mayo, sriracha, brown sugar, aromat, which is like, it's like MSG, isn't it? And
you can cook.
Soy sauce. And then and shake it up in the container, and people just love to watch me make them for some reason.
So where did this come from? Because they're not ingredients
that you
would
put
normally
together.
put in a can of tuna.
So I seen a guy on TikTok making them, and then I made it, and I was addicted. Like every single day, that was my lunch or my breakfast. I was eating at 8 a.m. I just couldn't stop. So then I started making it on TikTok as well.
So when you say go viral on TikTok,
Yeah.
what does that look like?
Like hundreds of thousands of views and comments, and people are recreating it. So every time I'm out now, people are like, I love your cucumber salad. Like I met Irish people in New York that I was just in, and they were like, I love your cucumber salad. I was like, so weird. It's not even my recipe, but like that's pretty viral, I suppose.
And so you put up a video of it. Like how long does it take you to put that video together? And do you know it's going to be viral, or are you just firing it up because it was something you were doing?
Just firing it up. I do bits of food, not like your level, but like I like really odd foods. I feel like I try anything once. And I just put it together and just threw it up. It's usually me in my pajamas, or like it literally takes 5 minutes to film, but it's always them ones that do well in content. It's weird.
And do you know what's going to do well before it's random, is it?
No, well, it's always the ones that you don't try do well that do well. I don't know if TikTok knows how much time you put into something, because it's like it punishes you if you try to put loads of time into it. It's always the ones that you literally off the cuff throw up, record in the app, bad quality, like they end up doing the best.
Really?
Yeah, it's weird.
So you cook. You're into food.
I wouldn't say cook. I'm a creature of habit. I make the same thing all the time.
Okay.
Usually breakfast is turkey bacon, a bagel and 2 eggs. Lunch will be the tuna salad, and dinner I love cornflake chicken tenders and potatoes.
Savage.
But I'm not really a veg person.
So you have this how many times a week, this menu?
5.
Really?
Probably. It doesn't really change. I just love the same thing. But then I'm really adventurous when I go out for food and things, but I just don't like spending a lot of time cooking.
Okay, yeah.
I don't have much time to cook.
What would be your, say, death row meal?
Okay. What I just said? No. I'd say starter, sushi.
Okay.
Love sushi. So that for my starter. Main course, a really good carbonara, but like the original one, not the one with the cream. Has to be with the cheese and the egg. I can make that actually. I make good carbonara. And then dessert, maybe something with strawberries and chocolate. You know the Dubai chocolate bar?
Yeah,
strawberries?
that went mad, yeah.
Probably them. With a side of the bar on the side of it.
And what would you drink alongside that? Pairings?
I love water, you know. But I probably would want to be drunk if I was doing a death row meal. So margaritas, spicy margaritas maybe.
Nice.
Yeah.
Take me back then. Where did you grow up?
I grew up in Templeogue in Dublin.
Okay. What did
lived there my
childhood
whole
food
life.
look like for you?
So my mum's German.
Oh,
So
really?
there was a bit of, so she cooked some German stuff, so she made like schnitzel and little bits like that. But then when I went over to Germany to see my nanny and granddad, they always had really German food, and their way of eating is actually something I really like. They had like a breakfast, which would be like normal breakfast food really. Lunch is your big meal, so lunch is like hot, might be like your pasta, your schnitzel, whatever. And then dinner, we always had like this like round board that like spun, and there was like different meats and cheeses on it. So since I was like a tiny tot, I was eating pickles, meats, cheeses. Like that's where I get my taste buds from, I feel like. But it's actually really good for you because you're not digesting a big heavy like hot meal then for dinner. So I feel like I've taken kind of bits of that as well with me, where I try to eat like bigger at lunch sometimes as well. But yeah, just German food, I suppose.
Really?
Yeah.
I
I never got any like traditional Irish. I've never had what's it, bacon and cabbage?
Yeah.
Never had that.
You've never had it?
Never had it. We never cooked for me. Coddle, I only tried very recently. My mum, like, obviously wouldn't make that either. Stew she did make, but I didn't like it.
So your mum did all the cooking?
All the cooking, yeah.
And are you fluent in German then as well?
Yeah.
Is it? Do you spend much time there now?
Not really. My nanny and granddad passed recently, so I haven't been over since both their funerals. My auntie is still there, so we used to go over like once or twice a year, but not really since. But when I go, I love to eat the German food.
And what would have been in the school lunchbox?
Oh, I used to have really smelly stuff actually because it was German. Like I think I had like salami on bread, which like isn't cool when you're like 7, open your lunchbox. Everyone's like, "What's that smell?" I'm like, "Oh, it's just my salami." So I would have had that, a Baby Bell. I love my cheese, and I wasn't allowed to have chocolate only on Fridays. My mum was really strict on that, but I've made up for it now because I eat it every single day. What else? Probably a bit of fruit, like grapes or something. But again, veg was never my thing. But my mum couldn't cook veg. I think that's the issue.
What would she do with it?
Boil peas and all, do you know, like not even a bit of butter on it.
Grey.
So I think that's where I got my no veg taste buds from, because now when I'm out and I get served it, I actually like it. But at home, no.
What did you enjoy school?
I liked school for the social aspect. I didn't like learning things. Okay. I just found it like boring. I think even from a young age, like I just knew if I wasn't going to use something in the future. And everything that I thought that about, I actually was probably right about looking back. Some things obviously you have to know, like your maths and English and things. But I didn't love the hours and like being so confined to it. When my mum said she was bringing me to play school when I was younger, I was actually like, 3? And she was like, I was like, when is play school over? And she was like, 2 o'clock or something. I was like, no, when is it over? And she was like, 2 years. And I was like, okay. And then she was like, and then you have primary school. I was like, well, when's that over? And she was like, 8 years, whatever it is. And then I kept asking, when is everything over? So I think I just didn't like always having something in front of me. So when I finished school, I went to college. And then I feel like after that, I just like flourished and became so into myself, because I just felt like school really confined me to one area and one kind of person, like, as well.
What sort of subjects did you enjoy?
Music and English.
Okay.
And German I was really good at, obviously, because I'm fluent. So I got an A1 in that. My mum would have been annoyed if I wasn't.
And the A1.
Yeah. And then music I loved singing, and I played the violin as well. So I got like I think A2 in that. And then English I loved. I didn't love like all the Shakespeare stuff, but I loved writing.
Yeah.
That was like good for me. So I done really well in them. Everything else I done really bad in. But it kind of all levelled out to a good enough points, because I was really good at the other ones then.
What was, when you were a kid, what was the sort of career plan? What were you thinking you were going to end up doing?
My career plan was...
A career plan sounds very
I
formal.
know, especially
what did
when
you
you're
want
young.
to be when you grow up at that age?
Originally, I wanted to be a singer. So that was the dream. And then I realised, I was like, oh, it's not really like very... It's like...
Could you sing?
I can sing. But like, I was like, it's very hard. Like, I don't really want to be a struggling musician. I want to make money. Like, I was quite driven by that. So...
At what age was this?
Probably when I was just about to leave school, because there was an option to go to, BIM. It's like a music college, option to do that. And I was like, it's not really what I really want. I kind of want to keep it as a passion as well. I feel like when you turn a passion into a job, sometimes it can kind of turn you the other way. So I didn't do that. I went straight into childcare.
Okay.
So I thought I wanted to do childcare. I done it for 3 months, and that was DIT. And I left because I had to go to placement, and they had made me wear this like ugly cardigan. And I was like, I can't do it. I can't do this. It was a really it was actually in town, a really fancy creche. So you had to be really well dressed and stuff, which I don't mind doing, but the cardigan just sent me. And I was in the baby room with the babies, and I remember being at lunch with all the girls who work there full time. They were all complaining about it and saying how much they hate it and how much they want to leave. And they're like, oh, what else could we do? And I was like, why am I studying this when they're all absolutely hating their lives?
That can leave a big impression on you.
It did. And then that day, I talked about it the other day on a podcast that that day so many bad things happened. So I got stuck in the doors of a bus. The bus doors closed on me. And then I was walking down Grafton Street on the way to placement, and I had the McDonald's bacon cheese toasties.
Oh,
like a breakfast thing.
Yeah.
I'm not even messing. I had it like this, about to bite into it. A seagull comes, swipes it from my hand and flies away. And so much bad things happened that day that I just felt like, I was like, I think I just need to leave the course. I remember telling my mum, and she was like, yeah, you can leave, but you need to think about what you want to do because you have to do something else. She wasn't just letting me leave and just do nothing. So then 9 months later, joined marketing. So I went to like a guidance counsellor, and she kind of said, you'd be good at that. I done like a quiz, one of them like aptitude ones. And
did you decide to go to the guidance counsellor?
My mum, my mum's really big on education. Like she's not really strict on many things, but like she would have been, her mum and dad would have been quite strict on education, and things like that. And she just really wanted me to have something to have like a degree. So it was never really a choice to go to college or not. It was always, you're doing something. So done marketing then for 4 years. So 2 of the years was COVID, I think, or maybe just the last year. So I never got like a proper graduation or anything. And I didn't love it, but I just done it. I was like, I know I need to do it. Time's going to pass anyway. I just need to like get it done and have that to fall back on. And yeah, finished it and have the degree now.
When did the online stuff, so when did you start online?
I started online probably the start of college. It was. Sorry, actually originally it was when I was in school. So I made a blog, but I didn't tell anyone about it.
You weren't of the Bebo generation.
I wasn't on Bebo, no. I just missed that. I wasn't allowed on that. But I made a blog that was like a written blog, like ones we used to use back in the day, back when. But I didn't tell anyone about it. And I was like, obviously no one's going to find it if I don't tell anyone. So it got 0 views. I ended up deleting that.
What were you writing about? Fashion
and like beauty stuff and like just like my outfits, posting them and like describing them and things. But I didn't have like the balls to put on the likes of Instagram. So
why
quit that? Because in school I feel like you just want to be like blending in. You don't want to do anything that's going to make you stand out, or people going to like slag you over. Like I remember I used to post YouTube videos actually of me singing, and if there was like a free class, someone would like put it up on the screen. Like I know, not in like a bullying way. It was like in a way that like still yeah, it wasn't great, like, but it builds character. But yeah, so I done that and then ended that blog. And then when I was going into college, I was like, right, okay, this is my time. I can just be like, kind of reinvent yourself a little bit, because I was very shy in school. So I made the new blog then and started writing on that, and then changed to Instagram because I was like, I actually hate the writing part. Like, what's the point when you can just post a caption? That's one sentence and doing a big, huge blog post. So I changed that and then just grew ever since. And COVID really helped, I think, grow everyone. And then I came out of college to be able to do give myself a full-time job then.
Was that always the plan?
No, it's to get like a marketing job, or like I really wanted to do a fashion buyer's master's. There's no degree in that you can do. You can add it on though afterwards. So it wasn't the plan, but I think it was doing so well at the time where I was like, I'm probably gonna make the same money with an entry-level job anywhere. So why don't I try this for a bit and see how it goes? But it was never a plan to be full-time forever. And now it is. And my dad even like, my mum and dad don't really understand it all. They do now a little bit, but up until 2 years ago, my dad was sending me like job applications for his job. I was like, it's grand. Like I have a job. It's fine.
So, okay, explain, pretend a lot of the people who listen to this podcast are like your mum and dad, and social media is your full-time job.
Yes.
What does a week in your job look like?
It can be very varied. I think that's the main thing with the job. It's very up and down. Even with like jobs coming in, you don't know what's going to come in or not. Like it could be 1 week you're really busy, next week you're not so busy, but it kind of all evens out. But I suppose Mondays we usually record the podcast. So we have a podcast called Home I Drink. So we record that. We're basically in all day in town, do a bit of content, come home. Then during the week I'm just filming like ads and my own organic content, because I feel like my whole life is content, if that makes sense. Not that I put my whole life into it, but like
content
say like a TikTok or like a reel or a story. So like I said, I'm making my cucumber salads for my breakfast. Like people who don't do content will just make the breakfast and eat it, whereas I'm filming it and editing it and eating it all in one. So everything you do in a way can be content, which is like good and bad, because you kind of always put pressure on yourself to like do it because you know you can. You're like, oh God, I could be filming this. Like, should I? Do you know, if I'm doing something so simple, it takes away like the simplicity of doing things sometimes, but I also love doing it. But yeah, filming ads, they take a long time, or like even normal content, like a reel of me putting on outfits. There was one I done like a behind the scenes of, It was like 7 seconds long, I think, and all in all it took me like 4 hours to film, set up, edit. Then you send it for approval, the brand gets back, there could be changes to be made. So I think people just see so small. They see the 7 seconds and think, oh, that job's so easy.
And you're editing, you're on the laptop, you're running the emails,
Not emails, that's one thing. My manager does that.
Okay.
Yeah, if emails are a bad place for me.
When did the manager come on board?
I'm with Icon now 3 years maybe.
Yeah, okay.
But I had mentioned before that as well.
Yeah.
I think it's important because it's really hard to know like things like rates. I think going into it blind, like people are like, oh, how much are you charging for this? Like how do you, at least now you've ChatGPT, that could probably help, but back then you wouldn't have. So it's
you
nice.
use ChatGPT for that sort of
No, I don't. But I was on Keith Barry's podcast and he said he'd done it before and it worked. And he was like, the brand said, yeah. So I was like, I wouldn't even think of that. But it's my management that do all my rates anyway. Just filming, editing, shooting content, researching things, new trends, calls, meetings.
It's essentially you're like a marketing agency.
Basically,
You've turned yourself into
a market. Yeah. So I feel like people always ask, does my degree help me? But I feel like the degree was very much like old school marketing, like TV, radio. That's obviously still used, but influencer marketing is massive. So I feel like in all my essays and my assignments I was writing, I always write about influencers because I had an inside knowledge. So I feel like in a way my job helped me for my degree rather than the opposite way around, I feel like. But you have to have a brain for it, I think. There's a lot more tactics and business that goes on behind it than people think. Like people just see it as you turn up a video, but there could be like a strategy behind that, or like even the cucumber salads, like me doing that all the time creates like, people love consistency with something and they love watching the same thing, making the same ingredients every time, shaking the same container in the same place, but people love to see when something's consistent and they know what they're getting from a video. So things like that, I feel like people don't realise there's a lot more thought behind it than
you must be constantly thinking then of what's the next trend or what do people want?
My brain never stops. It is like a hamster wheel a little bit because when you stop, everyone else is still going. So like you have to just keep driving it on, but you have to love it. I think if you join this job for like, people might see it as you get free stuff or it looks glamorous and things. If you're joining it just for that alone, you won't last because it's harder. I'm not saying it's the hardest job in the world. It's definitely not, but it's harder than it would look from the outside, I think.
Is it competitive?
There's a lot,
inverted commas, influencers.
There is a lot. There's a lot more coming now as well. Definitely is competitive, but I think once you have your own lane and your own style of content, it's like I like to think that some of the stuff I do is quite unique and like different, and I'm very consistent with it since I was a very small creator. So I feel like that's kind of stood by me, but definitely is getting competitive when everyone can just pick up the phone and do it when they want, because like really anyone can, but it's about how good you are doing it, I suppose.
It's interesting you say, because I would have had, when I worked in restaurants, I would have had the opinion of, these people online, like it's not really a job or it's just floating about.
Yeah.
And then since COVID as well as yourself, things have developed now. I do a lot of that stuff. And I would do a video that takes like a minute recipe video. It might take me the whole day by the time I go to the shop, buy the stuff.
Yeah.
And I have a newfound appreciation for the business that it is. Whereas I think a lot of people are still cynical about it. So do you switch off, or like you say about the getting up in the morning in your pajamas making the
cucumber salads? Like
you must use a lot of mental energy, like 24/7 in terms of putting your life out there. Definitely.
And even when you're like aimlessly scrolling on social media, you're still not really switched off, because you might save something and say, oh, that's good for me to do later, or like get inspiration from something. So it's really hard to actually switch off. I think my only switch off time is like Pilates, when my phone's down, I'm not on it because my screen time is through the roof. Like it's bad, but it is really hard to switch off. It's my job, yeah. But it's different because it's like, even on your phone when you're texting friends, you're still getting notifications in. So your brain always is subconsciously even thinking of other things that you could be doing or should be doing, or it doesn't stop. Really.
A lot of pressure?
Yes and no. Like someone asked me the other day, do you feel pressure always to be like made up, or like, I was like, definitely not, because I don't portray that online. I think if I was someone who online always only came on when I had makeup on or the best outfit or something, like then I'd feel like that, but I come on any which way. So I feel like then if someone sees me in person, I'm looking haggard, like it's grand, because I look like that online anyway, so it's fine. But definitely a pressure to always, I suppose, stay relevant a little bit, because that's what my job is. Like the second if people stop following you, like people who follow you are the reason we have this job. Like I'm so grateful for that, and I have such lovely people who follow me, which is really, really great. So it's definitely a pressure to stay on top of it and keep consistent and relevant and just hope people still like it, I suppose.
This episode of Roasted is brought to you by M&S Food. M&S work with the best producers from Ireland and beyond to bring real quality to your table. Like their beautifully ripened Irish tomatoes grown on the North Dublin coast by the Foley brothers. A perfect addition to a variety of dishes. Talk to me about the bad side of social media. The
Negative.
I think like everyone's seen lots of stuff. And the sort of younger generation coming through now and stuck in phones, and then the abuse. Like, how do you deal with all that?
I think it just gets like easier as time goes on. Like, you see the same comments. I've seen everything about myself at this stage. Like, you can't really hurt me anymore. Like, so it's just growing thick skin to it and kind of feeling bad for them as well. Because no one normal is sitting there on a fake account.
I was going to say, who are they? Who are these?
Exactly. They're like trolls, I suppose. But it's just the more energy and airtime you give them, like if you reply to their comments or like, even if it's in a funny way, I do feel like more come. And if you post them on your story, like you'll get more because people want to also be seen on your story, or like also want to know that they got to you or affected you, or like even blocking them. I don't really block accounts like that. I'm like, that's going to give them ammunition to make a new account or like do it again. So it's just about ignoring it, I suppose, or trying to. But it definitely gives you a thicker skin to life. I used to be very sensitive and not as sensitive anymore.
I was going to ask, like when you first started doing it and you start getting abuse or trolls, like before you had a thick skin, how did it make you feel?
I remember the first time I was on Twitter and a picture of me went viral, and it was like all these men saying like I was the worst. I had a 30k balloons at the time. I posted the picture and they were like the biggest loser on the internet, like so ugly, like all these different words. I remember I cried for like half an hour, and then I was like, wait,
what age were you?
21 maybe. Yeah. And I was like, what am I crying for? And then I never have cried again over it. I got out of my system. No one normal is doing that. Like, if any of my friends, I caught any of them doing that to anyone's account, I'd literally unfriend them. It's just weird. It's usually men.
Really, yeah?
Yeah.
Why is that?
I don't know. They just seem to have a problem. I don't know if it's like seeing a woman that's successful, or like if they think, I don't know, they think they can get to you somehow and bring you down, but it's usually is men. But women are mean too. And can be. I think it's women who have like a lot of time on their hands maybe and just aren't happy in their own lives. And same with the men as well. It's no one is happy in their own lives and posting hate about anyone. It's just not how it goes. So
does it get outweighed by the good stuff?
Yeah. But then again, if there's a really bad hate comment, you're gonna see that out of all the good ones. It's the one that does stand out then. And then also another bad part is obviously like online harassment and stalking then as well. So I had like an online.
I read about all this. Yeah. Do you want to just explain that briefly?
So it was 2.5 years ago now. I was receiving messages from fake accounts, but it was always the same type of messages, like the same person, I believed it to be. So it was like over the space of a year.
Is that because the language and
punctuation?
It's mad, isn't it?
Yeah, you can tell. And that person before had messaged off their real account as well, and I was sitting in a restaurant with my friend in a hotel, and I just posted my starters that I'd eaten maybe 10 minutes before, and I felt just a blow to the back of my head, and my head went forward onto the glass that I was drinking from that was on the table, and I got like a gash on my head that needed like, it was like 5 stitches. But I looked up and I knew exactly who it was straight away, so he was arrested then and went to prison for about 1.5 years.
So you're in a full restaurant.
It was nearly empty. It was us, 2 of us, and then one table of like a group of men sitting out there, like where they're sitting out there, I'd say, and that happens.
When that first happens, what's the initial like 5 seconds? What are you thinking?
I first of all thought that a waiter had dropped loads of plates on my head. That's just where it's mad how quick your brain works, because that thought must have happened in the space of 1 second. That's what it felt like. It was so full force on my head, kind of went up like that, and then I was in such a state of shock, I felt no pain. I remember my friend just looking at me like, I'm going to call an ambulance. I was like, what? I'm grand. Like, I jumped up and I could feel like a warmth to my head. I felt like blood rushing down, but I couldn't feel the pain. So I was just confused while she was trying to ring an ambulance. I was like, I'm fine. Like, your body goes into a state of shock where you're literally like, everything's fine, like in a state of delusion basically. So we went in the back then and got it all like cleaned out and stuff to make sure there was no glass in it, and then went straight to hospital. And I was there till 5 that morning, and then I was in court at 9 that morning to give my statement then, 4 hours later.
What do the other people in the restaurant do? Where does this person go?
He ran out. He walked out.
Walked out?
Yeah. And then The table of men didn't, I don't know. I didn't, to be honest, it was all a blur.
Yeah.
But I don't think anyone was, but it was so quick. It was like no one could have done anything really. Everyone was confused. No one knew what had really happened. No one had seen it, I don't think. My friend even said when she seen him coming up behind me, she wouldn't have been aware of who he was. And she thought it was someone who, like, you know, when they come behind you and they know you and they're like, hey, and they put their arm around you or something. She said that was her first thought. But again, it was all so quick that I thought actually it was glass, because I didn't realise the glass was from the glass that went into my head. I just thought he threw a glass over me then that night. And then it was actually, they watched CCTV back. I haven't watched it. Like every time they played in court, I was like, I don't want to see that image. It's not in I don't remember it much. So I don't want to have to remember that image either.
Why did this happen?
I don't know. I've never once, I'd never even answered one message from this person. I'd blocked him on multiple accounts. I don't know, it comes back to like toxic masculinity maybe, and like a want of like, what, how dare you not reply? I don't know what the reason is behind what he did, but he saw an opportunity of me posting where I was when I was there and took it and ran with it. Like, yeah.
It's crazy.
Mad, yeah. I think when I talk about it still, I talk about it as if like, I think of it as if it's someone else. Like I remember the day after seeing news articles and all these newspapers and just seeing a picture of me, and I was like, it's mad. It's like a story you read about someone else, not about yourself. So that was a bit like harrowing and haunting and scary to think of how much worse it could have been as well. Like considering how quick it happened, it could have been anything that he done.
How do you recover from that in the weeks after that?
I kind of...
That would shake anyone.
Yeah, it would. I went to therapy straight away and I was like, how can I let this not affect me one bit? And she was like, you can't. She's like, you have to go through it and go through the motions of it. So I was in shock for quite a while. Kind of started to process it, then went back to therapy at a good time and talked it through. But I was very strong on not letting it stop me from doing things. So I think it was like 4 days later, I was on a live show for someone's podcast. I like went to Nando's about 5 days later and just like, was not to say I wasn't anxious doing them things, I was, but I knew the longer I waited to do things that scared me, the worse it would be. Like imagine waiting 2 months to go back into a restaurant, I'd be sitting there rattling, whereas I was like, if I do it now while I'm maybe still in this shock a little bit, it will help, and it did. But I still definitely have a certain seat. I like to sit in a restaurant, I like to see all corners of the room and the door, and I don't like to have my back to anything either, so that kind of still affects me.
As it would. Particularly when that's your job as well.
Exactly.
And it's not like you can stop posting things and
no
being that available.
Yeah.
And
well, it's definitely helped. Like, it stopped me from posting where I am when I'm there.
Yeah.
So I'll always post after the fact. It might even be 10 minutes after, but I'm gone.
Yeah.
So if I'm posting that I'm somewhere, I'm not there anymore. I think everyone should be a bit like that though.
That's a nice comfort to have, no? To remove yourself slightly from
it is. Yeah, it's nice. But also like, then I moved into my apartment not long after that happened as well. I remember people asking for like an apartment tour and I was like, I can't. Like, and like, I felt real sorry for myself like doing that. I was like, I'm being silly, like saying, oh, I can't do an apartment tour. But it's just little things, like little freedoms that bad people take from you. And that's what upset me. I was like, I can't show people who support me in my apartment and like then be excited and things to see it because of this person or because of other people watching who are bad. Like there's people who like rob things as well, or like it's just annoying how bad people or one bad egg can like ruin it for so many other people, like little things. Because even for months afterwards I wouldn't come online much at all, and like on my stories chatting I wouldn't do it because I'd be afraid people would see the background, and like I was really paranoid about like people knowing where I was whenever I was there. So
talking about the good side of it, I put my notes.
Good side, yes.
I put my notes going through your Instagram yesterday.
Right.
So this year, what have I missed? New York, Ibiza, London, Portugal.
Yes.
Spain.
Yes.
Portugal again.
Yes.
Miami.
Yeah.
Alps. I didn't know where. And
Val d'Isere,
you're obviously doing your job right.
Yeah.
I couldn't tell where. You've created a very cool job for yourself.
Yes, I have. And I don't take it for granted ever.
No,
I love it.
Don't mind that.
I love it. Yeah.
You should be owning that.
Yes.
So that's all work. So we see on Instagram the cool photos on the beach or in the Alps or the nights out or whatever. But that's 24/7 work for you.
Yes, I don't really go on holidays ever and switch off because I feel like holiday content, I love doing it because the lighting's always nice. Like Ireland is grey a lot of the time. I would love a holiday where I can just actually switch off, but I love doing what I do. I love sharing. I think while I love it and when I'm away somewhere nice, why not do it? And I feel like people are interested in that as well. And like I said, my life is content. So it's like, if I don't post something, people are like, oh, she's just gatekeeping the whole holiday from us. But yeah, I love traveling. I think that's always something that I wanted to do in life. And like, to be able to travel as part of my job is just like the dream come true. Like, it really
Where are the
is.
really good places? Where are the really bad places?
Oh, really good New York.
Yeah.
Always have fun in New York, hence the no voice. Love Ibiza. I've been there like 15 times, I think, in the space of the last 5 years. Really bad.
No, really bad's a negative word.
Oh,
Anywhere
like-
disappointing. Granted, you're still probably doing content and getting the paycheck, so the work
Still
is
getting
fine.
it, yeah. I don't think so, I feel like I love like learning about people's cultures and like different places, and I love food everywhere I go as well. So can't think of anywhere bad. But I'm going to go to Bali in Thailand in January and go by myself.
Really?
Do a solo trip, yeah.
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 And is that work?
No. Well, no.
Yeah, okay.
No, I'll be probably posting when I'm there, but I'm going to take I want to do a retreat over there, so I'm going to take that time off. So that might be like a week or so and just actually switch off. I feel like I need to find myself in Bali.
Absolutely class.
Just have a feeling I just need to go.
It seems like a striking difference from the sort of shy
Yeah.
teenager you presented.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
like, was there a moment where you were like, I'm doing all right here, or I'm really feeling power behind me, or I'm really growing into it? Was there a moment, or did it just happen organically?
I remember going into college and I was like, I think it was a motivational speech I'd seen or something of, maybe it was Mel Robbins at the time. You know, the 5-second rule, when you like do something before you even think about it. I remember like, I was like, right, when I go into college and they ask for a volunteer or like someone to read out something, like you put your hand up. And I was like, that would have been my fear in school. I hated doing it. And then I just done it and I just kept doing it. And I feel like you gain confidence in yourself when you do things that you're set out to do, and like you do things you promise yourself to do. So I feel like all these little things, something as small as putting your hand up in college, or like these tiny little moments, they add up to the big things. And it's made me be able to do live shows and sing at Longitude and like different things like that used to like scare the shit out of me, like that I wouldn't have done. So I think it was just build up a small moment. But I think this job as well, you meet so many people. Like I can talk to anyone now that I meet on the street, whereas before I would have been a shell of myself. So this job definitely helped me bring myself out of my own shell a lot, which I'm really grateful for as well.
You seem to have a support now. You speak a lot about your mum, so obviously your mum is the person behind you.
Yeah, she's very hardworking. She's always been. She's tried so many different careers and things. She used to work in the Royal Ballet in London. She met Princess Diana and all, so that's pretty cool. But she is really hardworking, and just that's where I get my hardworking from. I think is like just being really determined to succeed in things. And my dad, he has a good job and all, but he doesn't like to work. He would rather just not work. He's always like, when are you hiring me? I'm like, I don't know. He's like, as your driver. I was like, I don't go that many places in Ireland. But yeah, no, they're great. And they really support what I do now, especially because they understand it
I was
more.
going to ask, so they now understand, like, do they follow on Instagram? What do they think of
They
it all?
follow me, yeah, they listen to all my podcasts. They follow it all and they think it's really cool, but they're just always like making sure I take breaks and like relax as well, because they know I'm always up the walls. But I have ADHD as well, so that doesn't help anything. My mind's always going to be running either way.
It's creative.
So, yeah.
Tell me, it's a podcast. What do you talk about?
Podcasts. So we touch on loads of different things. Mainly it's like boy problems and like girl bits and like dilemmas. But we touch on really serious subjects as well. Like we've had a talk about cancer, like suicide, grief, a lot of different things. I think things that are really topical in everyone's life, because everyone knows someone's been touched by them things, and everyone knows someone who's had boy dilemmas and things. So it's all things that are relevant to us and like our age group and life, I think, as well. Mainly female listeners, but also we get some male listeners who look for advice from us.
I listened to a few bits and
like,
bobs in the research for this chat.
So yeah, they come to us in person. They're like, oh my God, I listen to it to, like before a date, or like to see what girls want or like what they find good in things. So yeah, it's really interesting.
I like that you have an opinion and you're well able to stick by an opinion in the little snippets that I would have listened to. Which isn't always the easiest thing to do.
People are going to have something to say back then to it. Yeah. There was one, it was like an ick or a red flag came in and we have to decide if it's a red flag or not. And it was like, he's 32 but can't drive. And we said red flag. I was
Huge red flag.
Yeah, but
irresponsible, I would say.
Yeah, but like we were like, right, sometimes there's reasons why you can't drive. Like you might have epilepsy or like there's all these reasons why people don't drive or can't. But then when it's clipped, people mightn't see all the reasons that we listed in the podcast, and then we have all these fake accounts. How can they sit there and judge people who are not driving? Like there's cost of living or something like that. We said in the podcast, fair enough if someone can afford it. Like there's all these different reasons why it's fair enough. But if someone just isn't arsed and they're 32 and don't drive, sorry if any of you don't drive. I think it's a red flag.
Tom, do you drive? Yeah, he drives.
Okay. I do think it's a red flag. I just think something like that reflects on how they are in general life. Like maybe they're not bothered with you then, or they might not be bothered to plan dates, or like it just says a lot more about their character, I think. So,
well, I don't like to talk about myself at all in public or definitely in this podcast, but I remember my now wife on our second date
asked if you could drive.
Said, I think I was 20, and she just threw it in a comment. She goes, I couldn't really, and I was mad about it at the time, I couldn't really see myself going out in it with anyone long term who couldn't drive. And she still laughs to this day that within 14 weeks I had the license.
Oh, stop it. Oh my gosh.
But she was right.
Green flag. That's so cute.
I wanted to talk to you about the idea of being a role model.
Mm-hmm.
You are like doing research again for this chat today, speaking to my sister-in-law who's 25.
Mm-hmm.
And like everyone knows who Charleen Murphy is. I assume you walk down the street and you get either people saying hello to you or you get the look.
Yeah.
How does that sit with you?
It's really nice, but I suppose there's a pressure then as well for maybe like people say, oh, it's young for younger people. But I think what I do now and what I stand for, I'm really proud that if someone thinks I'm a role model, that I'm a good one. I would say, like, I'm okay. Like, I'm not perfect. No one is, but I don't think that. I don't think someone having me as their role model is a bad thing. Maybe, hopefully.
Do you sort of represent a sort of, I don't know, is it a new wave? But this kind of, I don't want to use the wrong word, but like owning it, girl boss.
Yeah,
like,
100%.
Get out of my way.
100%. Very independent, strong, and just being like a strong woman, because I think there's a lot that knocks women down, and we need more strong women in the limelight who are going to build each other up and things. So I would hope that that's what I give off.
Not an easy thing to do though, considering what you spoke about earlier and what's happened to you in the
yeah, but I think that also me speaking about that, like the messages I got since that of people saying that they were then not afraid to report what happened to them, or like it's nice to see someone talk about the after effects and things like that, because you forget that like not many people that happens to, first of all, and then not many is in my exact situation, but then also not many people talk about it as in detail maybe and go through the stages, because we were doing the podcast at the time still, like week by week we were still going, so people kind of seeing the stages and me maybe coming back to myself, which again, when it happens to someone who's not in the public eye, you mightn't see it as much, whereas it was clear to see week by week maybe me getting better, like talking about things more, and like people kind of got to follow the journey as well and then feel happy for me when they seen that I was like happy again and back to myself. So it's really special.
Public therapy in a way.
Literally. Yeah, I'm such a big advocate for therapy as well. Every podcast episode I'm like, therapy. If a dilemma comes in, I'm like, therapy. I just think everyone should do it. I think it's great. You find out so much about yourself and like people around you, and I think just even talking your feelings out loud sometimes to yourself, even in a voice note or writing it down, is so much help just in itself. So I think therapy is great.
And I think we live in a country where that probably wasn't a thing for maybe the last 100 years.
No. It would have been very like, oh God, just therapy. Like, but I feel like now it's so much more open and people are talking about mental health so much more openly. I think that's a really good thing about social media too. People often like see all the downfalls of it, but like it has opened up so many conversations that wouldn't have happened otherwise. Like Ireland is a bit backwards still in certain things, and still is even with social media. But I think even like young men now on social media talking about things like opens up such a bit better space for men's mental health to talk about that as well, and just making you feel like you're not alone. I think that's the biggest and best thing you can give to someone, is make them feel not alone in something. If someone comes onto my page and sees me talk about something and feels the same and thinks, oh, I thought I was alone in thinking that way, then that's a really special thing to be able to give to someone, I think.
Where do you want to take your business into the future? Ooh. Is it Charleen Murphy Inc.?
Yeah.
10 years from now, in your dream sort of scenario.
Do you know what? I actually hate making plans for the future. I don't know what it is. So even me saying I'm going travelling in January is like big for me. I never think that far ahead. I think because my schedule changes so quickly and so like things come in last minute. So I always like don't like to plan too much. But I would love my own brands of just myself. I don't know what though. I don't know if it's beauty, if it's fashion. Yeah, that's the main thing. Get a house, get married, and
Getting a house is a big Irish one, isn't it?
big Irish one. But then again, even
Mind
with
the
that,
marriage and all
but
that.
even,
When
yeah,
you
just
get
a
when you get the
house.
mortgage, that's
Yeah,
the moment you
that's
go,
the
God,
big
I'm an
thing.
adult.
I think though I want to get an apartment first.
Yeah.
I feel really safe in an apartment, and I just think I'm not ready for a house yet. I feel like I'm still a baby. I'm not, but like I feel that way. So, yeah, just I think seeing where my page takes me, I think I'm still growing so much at a really quick rate. So it's really exciting to see that I'm still doing that. And I think also a move to the UK, I would love, even just for a few months. But I think there's so much over there for me. I think in Ireland there's only so much, or like not as so far as you can go. I don't want to say that, but like I think the UK has much more opportunities when it comes to my job. So
You got to think big picture.
yeah, and I love London. I love London. I went every time I go, I just feel like at home. I don't know what it is.
If you live in London or New York,
London, because closer to home, and New York is just crazy. I love crazy, but not that crazy. Not all the time.
crazy for a weekend.
I'd have no voice ever. Yeah.
Tell me, worst. Maybe this is worst meal of your life is usually what I ask. We've gone through that. Yeah, the worst meal of your life you can remember.
God, in a restaurant.
Could be anywhere. Usually, there's people who've come in and talked about dates that went wrong or awkward.
Okay. Oh God, I haven't been on that many dates.
What?
I feel like as in with like boyfriends. I
Are
have,
dates
but
still a
apart
thing?
from that, I think but I think they've changed now. A lot of people go for like coffees and all. I couldn't have gotten worse.
Walked up here in a coffee.
So awkward. Like, hey, what's your favorite colour? Like, no thanks.
Would you be awkward on a date now?
No, but like I think a walk on a coffee is awkward.
Okay.
I would need a little drink. I think it's just an awkward situation. It's two people who don't know each other, like chatting.
That's my idea of hell.
Really?
I always say to Grania, I say, thank God I'm married.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
You're great. I
Yeah.
was like, if I had to go back to the start, I'd sit in my room and never come out.
I know, and get to know someone's everything again. And their families, like, no, scary. But worst meal, let me think. This isn't a worst meal, but I went to the cinema on a date before and he fell asleep. So that's not a worst meal. We had popcorn, but like...
What did you go to see?
It was some cartoon film.
Okay, so it was the film, wasn't it?
It was the film, and he was hungover. I was like, why get hungover when you know you have a date tomorrow? But anyway.
Red flag.
Red flag central. Probably, I had in Nashville, actually had a greasy breakfast.
Okay.
I didn't really love that. And I don't feel well after things like that.
You have a table of 4 people.
Okay.
You can invite anyone you want.
Okay.
Any era, anything.
Dead or alive.
Dead or alive, who are you picking?
Princess Diana. Taylor Swift. They all have to get along or no? They can just be like
It's
random.
your table, it's your dinner party, you're hosting. We've had mad answers for this.
Okay. Taylor Swift.
Princess Diana.
Princess Diana. Michael Jackson. I know.
Sorry, I've just given
Just
a look
for the
there
chat,
for
yeah.
listeners of, sorry, what?
Just for the chat, like just because he's dead. I feel like so much to catch up on. And then imagine like people who are dead seeing the world now. Like AI and all, they'd be like, what is going on? So I'd love to chat to them about that. And lastly, am I on the table? Is this
You've
can I be the fourth one?
got
I'm the
4
fifth.
guests.
I'm
You've
the
got 4
fifth.
guests.
God, my best friend, Quiva.
Okay.
Because she has some experience with me. So
Why
yeah.
is she your best friend?
We're friends since we're like 8. And we have just so many funny memories. We were friends in school. We were weird. Like I say I was shy in school, but like we used to ask, could we sing in front of the class? But Quiva would sing, I just do the dance moves. So me and Rachel would be either side of her and she'd be singing and we'd be like doing like actions like this the whole time. But like we'd volunteer, can we sing in front of the class? So we were just weirdos. But yeah, we're just friends so long. She's very loyal, supportive, and we're just the same person. So
I love that question because there's always a bit of an insight in terms of
who the person
the
was.
singing piece,
Yeah.
the strong independent woman piece.
Yes, she's also a very strong independent woman.
Yeah. The support network that you've kind of in the last of this first one mentioned 5 minutes, you seem to have consciously put a really good support network around you.
Yeah, my friends especially, like they're just my they're just the best. I just think you need a group of strong women around you to be that. And like, I know I can call any of them at any time, and like just having them there just makes me not scared for anything that ever happens, because I feel like I have such a good home team there that's behind me. So I feel like once they know who I am, my family, like everyone, I just feel like that's all that matters. And that's as well when hate comments don't get to me and things, because I can imagine that if you're a lonely person or not many friends, or like you don't feel good in yourself, that they would really tear you down. But because have such a good support system that I see them, sometimes I send them a group chat and we're all laughing at them and like laugh at how funny they are or something. So it's nice to have that kind of humour side of it as well, and to have that team.
Are you proud of yourself?
Yeah, I am. Yeah, I think little me would be proud of myself. And I think I'm mainly proud of like not even success wise or like career. I think just like the person I've become, and like being so strong in myself. And like I think 5-year-old me would not believe that I'm so outspoken or like not shy anymore and not scared to do things, or like put my hand up and call out when something's not right and things like that. So I think that's my main thing that I'm proud of, is like how I've developed. But I think the bad and good helps you develop. So I don't think I'd be the person I am without the bad as well as the good. So I always think that things happen how and when they should as well.
It seems like you're only getting started as well.
Yeah, definitely. And I feel like that's the exciting thing about your 20s, is like you really find out who you are. And apparently life only gets better, so we'll see.
Apparently.
Hopefully, yeah. So they say.
Charleen, thank you very much for your time.
Thanks for having me.
It was a really great chat.
Thank you.
If you liked what you heard, you can like and subscribe, leave a review, or even tell a friend about the podcast. You can also watch our full conversation on YouTube. We got Charleen's good side, as she was saying.
No, my bad side. Awful. Don't watch it.
And I will see you next time.